And this morning. Meeting to order. We need to add ability to file zoning violation versus Cole Anderson on the agenda. Is there anything else to add on that? Nothing? And I need a motion.
Oh, the mo-
Second?
Second.
Approve of the minutes of July 8th.
Minutes pure correct from last week, no approved.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. General public concerns. Anybody here to speak? Or if not, we'll move on. Ben, where'd he go?
he's
Back
the
in
back
the morning.
row.
Just like
Church, yes. Morning.
Morning.
I have a couple items for the agenda for the board today. The first is to approve an application to work in the county right away. For Mid-American, they are currently respanning a few sections around the county. This particular one is down near 2470 Roosevelt Avenue. They're trying to tighten up their spacing where they've had longer gaps in the past. I believe the old rules were somewhere around 350 to 400 feet for them. Midland Power has always kept theirs somewhere around 250 to 300 feet. Mid-American's going back and looking at their older lines and doing some updates.
Basically keeps them from bouncing and stuff in the winter time when they're post flop. So everything's in order in it.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Oh, second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I got a question for you, Ben. Yeah. Are they doing work on Lone Tree Road out there too? Obviously, they had steel poles. They must be changing wooden poles and steel poles. or something.
So that is one of the permits that we approved here a month and a half ago or so, I believe, with Midland Power.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the wooden poles on that higher three-phase. On the higher three-phase line, so they've put steel poles in the ditch right
Yeah,
now.
so-
And I did see one day last week that they had a service truck parked
Yeah,
out
they're,
there.
they're pulling in there this morning,
Okay,
so I'm just kind of curious.
yeah, their plan is to pull the existings and put in new lifetime structure, I believe.
Okay.
The next item that I've got on the agenda is to discuss some pavement maintenance. Working with Blacktop Service and Ford Dodge Asphalt. Looking at some of our older pavements that need attention. I sent you guys a list of half a dozen proposals for slurry leveling. At this time, I would propose proposal number 1, which is slurry leveling west of Rutland and north past Dave Hunter Marks. It's local macadam base, 24-foot wide pavement. So that's proposal 1. Proposal number 4, which is C12 up on the county line from 169 east to Laverne. That stretch that we're responsible for taking care of, and maintaining. And proposal 5, which is south mile of Gotch Park and then back west to Highway 169. So all told, it is roughly 140,000 in work.
Now,
Um,
do they come out and evaluate them or is it,
yes,
they do?
they've come out and done the evaluation on what it would take for material and time to do those stretches.
Okay.
They proposed doing some work on P19, C20. And P20 as well. But talking with Blacktop Service, they need crack filled probably first. And then we could potentially look at either doing a slurry leveling or we could do a chip seal over those. So it would be cost effective for the county going that route.
Are you still holding to your map here on the back then?
Yeah, so the map is what I looked at and what I saw. What I'm proposing approving is everything in blue on the map.
And not the chip seal and the crack fill, it looks like.
Those would be at a later time.
Would it be this year yet?
None of this would be this year yet.
Or next year?
So talking to Fort Dodge Asphalt, they're looking at spring to come in and do the work. Blacktop Service said that they would probably be able to do the crack filling this fall. So east of Livermore and the Pioneer Loop would be on the list to get crack filled, and then we'd also revisit C20, P20, and P19 up in the northwest part of the county.
So we would probably move forward with getting that done at some point.
Yes.
But right now you want just a slurry approval?
Right now, yes, because Fort Dodge Asphalt's quote is good for 30 days. What we'd be looking at is getting an approval to go ahead with their work for next spring.
So is proposal 4, that's. Don't we share that blacktop with Cassuth County?
Right.
Do they get part of this? Or
I
how
gotta
do
talk,
you do that?
I'll talk to Doug with Cassuth County as far as maintenance responsibilities. In the past, when we've crack filled it, we haven't sent them an invoice, just like they've never sent us any invoices for any of the maintenance that they've done east of.
I just don't know how that works.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
east.
Cause they go
Laverne, we
east
do
of
west.
They go east of Laverne, right? Yeah.
They do everything east of Laverne, yep. But I'll double check with them. I know as far as paving, we 50-50 everything. And bridge replacement, we 50-50, but maintenance, I'll check.
So that gets a ton of truck to a big cross
Yes.
there to,
And it's rough
it is,
right now.
it is.
Well, if that's what you're looking for, I guess it is stated it's a slurry level quote. I would make a motion that we approve the slurry level quote with Fort Dodge Asphalt for said roads.
I'll second Eric's motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All carried.
And then, update on construction. We are done with PC paving. We finished up Friday about 1 o'clock coming into the town of Thor from the south. Today, we are doing sidewalks in Renwick. And we are redoing a 4-panel area at the intersection of the Renwick Blacktop and P66. When they poured it by hand previously, there was a dip in the main line that they're gonna come back and tear out and replace.
Okay.
That's the plan for today. Blacktop service is supposed to be in on Wednesday in the town of Thor to do that stretch, and shouldering hopefully next week. We're waiting on Reddings for that one. I'm getting a quote back from the contractor on using 100% millings for everything south of Highway 3. A couple counties have done it with success. I need a phone call back from Woodbury, see how they like it, but we're looking at saving the county some money and using 100% wrap south of 3. North of Highway 3, the contractor's looking at just running straight gravel.
No, you had some concerns about that, but
Yeah, it's a question of whether or not it's workable
I mean,
after,
again, it's gonna be like
after
5
it
inches
lays in.
thick.
Yeah. Yep.
But I see they've done along Highway 3.
Mhm.
Did somebody's end gate come open Friday by chance?
Someone noticed that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were out with a couple of big brooms trying to push and
one of,
roll.
surprisingly, it was one of Patrol's trucks. The operator said that, when he turned the corner, he's assuming it's something electrical. Because he said the vibrator turned on, the tailgate tripped, and, the airlines started going, so I don't know. Anyway, he dumped, about 8 yards
Oh, jeez.
onto the pavement and strung it out from
It was a nice
County
line.
K all the way out to Quebec
Oh,
or CS
jeez.
Run, so for about 2 miles, yeah. Not ideal at
No.
all.
They were out there
But-
trying to, the power brooms, trying to get it towards the shoulder to. Of course, you know, everybody's gotta go out and look.
Yeah, that's just it. Only about half the traffic that was sitting out there needed to be out there.
Well, I just wondered if they were doing truck washes. Mine was pretty dirty. No,
I
I'm
can make
teasing.
that, I
you.
can
I'm
make
just-
that phone call.
I'm just,
Yeah, they broomed it off to the side of the road. They came out with their water truck and wetted down the highway and broomed it again.
I was
Friday.
wondering if that ever happened.
Friday was not an ideal day for us. I think we ended up with 28 yards of concrete waste, so. Yeah,
I will say I drove the stretch from Thor to Highway 3 last night. Man, it's smooth as glass.
it is very smooth.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and I think stripers are supposed to be in towards the end of this week for that stretch. Building pad out here, the guys are bringing it up. We'll see if we got enough clay. We might have to approach Sands again for a little bit more clay, but it's coming up. Beyond that, we're resetting cross pipes, repairing intakes, cleaning up corn stalks, saving all the day labor for that, for potential FEMA reimbursement, so,
There's probably a lot of that.
yeah. Okay.
all right.
Anything else for me?
Like anything? Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, Randy's up.
As the agenda says, I'm just here to present to you the minutes from the special exception use hearing. It was held on July 1. And these minutes were taken by Julie Day. And the hearing was quite lengthy. And so I think there's like 8 pages there, along with the names of the people that were present. Those were taken directly from the sign-in sheets. And those minutes then are presented to you. And the Board of Supervisors, as you may recall, has 30 days to ask for review to the Board of Adjustments. And normally of what's happened, we usually present these probably within, usually it's a few days, but because of the length of the minutes, Julie typed them up. They're sent out to the Board of Adjustments. They review them, and then they send back to her for approval. These have been approved by the Board of Adjustments. And so I guess the only question maybe comes up because of the length of time. I don't see anything, if there is, in the ordinance about whether that 30 days is from when the hearing was or once these have been given to you. There might be though, something there. I haven't seen it. So I guess the question is, you know, what that due date is, or that last date of when you could ask for review. And so I would just, I guess, give that to you. Like I said, normally it's from the past, we've done it once it's been provided to you.
Yeah,
So
I would think it'd go by when it's provided to us.
this is just a length of time more because of the time that it took to get the typing and the review by the Board of Adjustments. And so this was the earliest date that I could do that, so. And I have other copies here for anybody that wants them. I'll just leave them here by Dave. Is that all right, Dave? So,
Well, then I'd make a motion that we accept the minutes on today's date of the 15th, so that we have it in our minutes
Yeah.
record that we received the minutes from the Board of Adjustment hearing on the July 1st.
The 30-day period will start today.
That would be awesome.
do you want to set a date, what that would be, 30 days?
Well, get your phone down, yeah,
Okay, that would be the 14th
yeah,
of August. Am I
Make-
correct?
August 14th.
16 and 14 is 30, so let's say it'd be August 14th.
That is correct. I'll second that.
When you get caught up, yeah.
You're good.
So did we want to put this on the agenda for Monday the 12th? Before our 30 days, or do you want us?
I don't think we have to put it on the agenda, do we?
No.
Because just accepted it today and the clock starts today.
Right. I think the only reason why we'd have to put it on the agenda is if we wanted to have them review it, re-review it. Is that the right wording?
Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Randy.
you, Randy.
Okay, John.
Yes, so we received word over the weekend, and maybe it sounds like some of you guys have too, that Mr. Anderson is going to start operating his quarry. In looking at the zoning ordinance, in order to file a violation of the zoning ordinance, which I believe if he starts operating his quarry, he'd be in violation. we need the supervisors to authorize us to file a violation. So this was text messages Friday night is what it was, but I'm coming here today to ask that the supervisors grant authority to either myself and or Stu Cochran to file a violation of the zoning ordinance if Mr. Anderson starts his story. By that, I mean, I think we kind of determined it's probably gonna be blasting or taking out rock or sand. So if that were to happen this week, we want authority from you to file the violation, so we can get it in the court as quick as we can. I didn't see the need to go into the closed session. I don't think this is a secret. I don't think this is information that Cole could keep from anybody. I mean, if he starts blasting, my understanding is people will notice. So, and also, I think it will help, at least, I know y'all are getting a lot of phone calls. I know a lot of people are angry. At least this way you have something to tell them, hey, we're aware, we've authorized filing a zone violation. Now, the punishments for violating the ordinance are up to $100 fine, up to 30 days in jail. I highly doubt a judge would give Mr. Anderson 30 days in jail, but it allows us to get an injunction through that process to stop Mr. Anderson from operating the quarry. Which I think would be more beneficial than $100 fine or jail time. And then if he were to violate the injunction, we would come back to talk to you about next steps.
Board wishes.
I think we probably need to follow our attorney's advice and grant them the authority to file a zoning violation if this occurs. That'd be my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll
I'll second.
second. Okay, go
Third.
ahead, Bruce.
Any other discussion?
Obviously, if we were to file something, we'll get all of what we filed. And then we'll keep you updated either with, here's the court date, or we'll come into a meeting. So y'all will have, and you can call anytime to ask about it, but I want all of you guys to kind of be on the same page as far as when you're gonna get complaints, when people are gonna call in. I think Bruce has really received the brunt of these, but I may be speaking out of turn there.
No, they call quite often.
Okay, and so at least we'll tell them like, hey, this is what's going on, and if we keep you updated, because unfairly for you guys with this situation, it's not like there's anything the 5 of you can do to stop this or fix this. And even our steps to try to fix this or address this, 2, 3, 4 weeks at a minimum to address this. So not ideal for the people who are upset about this, but that's the best we can do with the situation. Is just try to get it in the court as fast as possible and get a ruling.
Any
Not
other
good when
discussion?
I read it in Humboldt paper too.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed, carried. You got it, John.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
You.
Thank you.
Moving on down. Accept and place to file the auditor's quarterly report.
This is the quarterly report, actually it's ending for this year too. And the largest increase you'll notice is for the city school election reimbursement. And that's $12,156.01. The rest is just routine.
Anything else? Motion to accept and place on file the auditor's quarterly report ending June 30th.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
I'm up.
Morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Recorder's quarterly report ending June 30th.
I wanted to come today for just a couple of reasons, but first, my quarterly report. Total dollars received 44,598.46. Our county's share was 15,682.85, and that left 28,915.61 that was split up between the Iowa DNR, the Iowa Department of Public Health, and the Iowa Department of Revenue. Secondly, I know all you supervisors were emailed the annual report from Iowa Land Records. I hope you have looked at it or will look at it. And please ask me any questions you may have. Iowa with our system is a leader in land records management, something we can be very proud of. In fact, we get more e-filings than what we get combined now in over the counter, in the mail, or what I pick up on my morning bank runs when I stop in a couple places. So it'll continue to grow. Thirdly, just really quick, I wanted to share in case you hear it here in the future, what the Iowa Recorders Association legislative objectives will be for this coming year. We voted last month at school to proceed with this. The recorder's page fee has been $5 per page since 1985. We're going to present that we go to $10. The $5 has had add-ons that get added into that depending on the document. This is going to be $10 across the board with some carve-outs. So it's going to simplify the process. It's going to be substantial revenue for the county budget from my office if it gets approved. So we're excited about that and hoping that it will go. We're not being outrageous in the request. So just for if you hear things, that's what's happening.
Would you know?
Yeah, so who actually physically approves this?
That legislative system.
The legislature system.
So
Next year?
yes, they've started the background work
Okay, so it has.
for a good 6 months. And if you look at the report that Iowa Land Records put together, they've done tons of surveys. They've interviewed people on all aspects between banking and attorneys. And a lot of it is for modernization of Iowa Land Records. You know, we pay Iowa Land Records a couple thousand for our fee annually to them. If it all flies like we're thinking, the carve out is going to come out of the recording fees. So we're not going to have that additional fee. There's talk right now there's $3. Every submitter pays when they e-submission, but they may take that away. They may not. There's a lot of simplifying maybe what we send to the auditors because that gets complicated and we get a lot of quotes and miss fees come in because of section township ranges blocks. So some of that is yet to be determined. Got more information on a Friday, which is awful new, but they're going to fly with the $10. The rest is kind of still, we'll probably vote on that at ISAC this fall.
So if you had $10 in this report, what percentage of that would the county versus the state versus?
I would guess just on an average going by what last calendar year was, we go by calendar years for them, 20,000. So, you know, we don't bring in a lot of money. Transfer tax is the big thing, but how do you know how much farm ground is going to sell in the next year?
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if they went with, cost of living and all that, they'd probably have to charge $100 a page.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
when-
yeah, if you go
when you
from
think-
85 to-
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't want to go so high that it wouldn't get approved because it's hard to put budget through and get approved.
Yeah.
So, you know, doubling sounds like a lot, but yeah, your mortgage instead of maybe costing you $100 is going to cost you $200. You know, and our attorney is going to take a 2-page document instead of putting it on a normal size paper, they're going to put it on a legal paper and so it's, you know, I would expect that, but anyway.
it'll help support my office just a little bit more.
There you go.
So,
Good.
any
We
questions?
really won't know until the legislative session.
Right. So possibly,
they'll have
possibly
every-
starting next July is kind of the goal.
They'll have all the information, they'll put it out there.
Right,
They go
and we have
through the
affiliates that work hard
Oh,
with
yeah.
legislative and getting the news out, so,
I'll make
I
a
hope it-
motion then
I
to
hope it goes through.
yeah.
accept
Yeah.
your report,
Second,
Dave.
second.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Okay. Treasurer semi-annual report.
She coming over?
People are in a situation. Well.
If I had a chance to look it over. Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept and place on file the treasurer's semi-annual report in June 30th.
Second that.
That's printed.
It's printed and signed.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Okay, down to discussion action on National Flood Insurance Program participation.
Ben and Kyle and I talked about this the other day, and this is the flood maps that were, what was that, in 11? Or is it?
Yeah, so Rick, I think you went to that meeting that was downstairs in the courthouse,
Yeah,
back in,
Actually, can't remember.
been a few years ago.
I feel like it was 2014.
Okay,
Roughly. Dave, you probably went to that meeting as well.
Been a while.
The city of Dakota City. Anyway, the DNR came out with these flood insurance rate maps, firm maps is what they call them. Basically, they theorized where we were gonna see flood damage under severe events, the 100-year storm, the 500-year storm. And then anybody that was colored in those maps was eligible to purchase flood insurance. We've talked about this in the past. about whether or not we adopt, the city of Humboldt has adopted the maps, they had them reflown. Back during the Travis Gedkin era as city administrator. I don't think they're accurate. And the problem is they don't have money to refly any of this or do the necessary work to make them accurate. They don't, the reason we didn't like them is they don't know how to map out drainage districts.
If I recall, almost the whole county was,
Yeah,
they just kind of went a half mile out from every drainage district
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
marked everything in.
Yeah.
Some of them just ended in a straight line, like.
Yeah.
Where they were out of money and didn't complete it.
Yeah, it was,
The flooding was severe in some areas. If you look at the maps for the town of Humboldt, I don't know what this last storm was, but it's higher than anything we had on record. And we didn't see anything flooded like the maps say that it should have. Out in the country, the drainage ditches are all disproportionate. We've never seen a flooding like anything.
it would be biblical scale.
And what it does is if you adopt them on the county level, it limits what you can build in any of those areas without having to purchase flood insurance. At this point, we've never adopted them on the county level.
No, like for a farmer to put up a grain bin, he'd have to have flood insurance on his grain. Probably, to put up a grain bin.
So if you go north of Hardy, Orleans, Hogside, that's all underwater in these maps. If you go up by Odison,
because it's within a, what, quarter of a mile of the drainage ditch.
right, if you go up by Odison, these were originally proposed when Paul Jacobson was the county engineer, so he looked at his acreage. Where he's got cattle set up north of his house, half of that was underwater. Like Trish said, there are certain maps where the drainage line just cuts off at a straight line. At a weird angle. There's errors in omissions and they haven't gone back to fix any of them. They just want everybody to adopt what they've done. So,
And it doesn't affect the cities, correct?
right.
Because they,
He's gonna adopt them on their own.
Right.
If we adopt them, we're adopting.
Yeah.
Where it affects us is when FEMA does come in for an event. There's usually like a 10% hit for us on whatever our damages. We're not adopting. So, if we have $70,000 in damages, they take 7,000 off of what they would pay as a, not a penalty, but it's a nicer word of saying penalty for not adopting these.
But if we adopt it, the landowners are gonna pay an extremely lot more for, because they'll have to have flood insurance.
Right, it handicaps your ability to develop out in the country and would require people out in the country to get flood insurance that would be it. Yes.
Long story short, you don't want to adopt this.
No.
I've seen that. I'm not sure Bruce and I didn't see something
I think you have,
time ago, several years ago.
they've done it at
It's not-
ISAC meetings. I've sat in on one last year, I think, where the board of supervisors just tore them to shreds on stage. And
Well, they're looking at a Google map out in Washington and they see all these, they think that the drainage districts are rivers.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you have so many rivers? Well, those aren't rivers, those are how we drain the fields.
extremely flat.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, it looks like rivers. I don't remember I think it was down in Des Moines. But I agree.
Well, until, and if they ever would update them, you'd obviously look at their updates, but they haven't. It's why we haven't adopted it.
Right.
And I don't think we're going to.
But they send this out every 6 to 12 months. Assuming that there's a change in the regard. Either the engineer, the auditor, or supervisors. And, the opinion changes.
It's the public to spend more money, that's all it is.
Oh, guess there's no action needed. Good update.
But I want you guys aware.
Yeah.
that They're sending out for another, like, they're not doing in-person meetings like they were anymore. Now they're doing Zooms. Digital meetings.
So we'll have it covered when I put it in the file again.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah. Then also, I've had several people call wondering about when we're gonna open up the bridges. I said, we can't inspect the bridges when the bridges are still so close to the water. We don't have a scuba team that will go down and look, so please be patient, people.
So there's, two bridges that I will want to have inspected before I reopen those. That would be Burton Murray Bridge. Both of those were underwater during this most recent event. Both of them could have substructure damage, either from trees that were hung up on the bottom side of the bridge or that were wrapped around the piers. There was some floating beams, I guess I'll call them, on our side of Burton Bridge that we fished out. We don't know where they came from. Longest one was about 24 feet. Short one was like 3-4 footers. They could have came from private property, they could have came from a bridge upstream.
Yeah.
Might have come off of the river bridge up there, railroad bridge, north of Bradgate.
And it could have come from the road.
That pretty well under too.
Could have come from the county.
I know this probably isn't your field, but the trail trestles, will they have to be inspected, do you know?
If it was me, I would have the one up by Rawl for Northwest.
I heard that a lot of trees against it, yeah.
Yeah, I would have that one inspected if it was me. I know it was inspected not that long ago because the boats came in and picked it up and moved it back into place. And then feel like it was an ice jam, then moved it the last time.
Had a lot of stuff against it this time, so.
I heard there was a lot of trees, a lot of debris.
Yeah.
But that one's in a different county, right? Isn't it?
Borderline.
Boy, it's close.
I think it is.
Humboldt County, but then
Is it?
It's,
Pocahontas has been doing it.
Yeah, I think Pocahontas maintains the trail, that structure,
Okay.
but I believe it is in.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Okay.
cross that before you get on the Stearns Woods up there, so yeah, it would be in Humboldt County.
I'm assuming it was Burton that they were asking about, Bruce.
Probably.
Well, it's just the shortest way out for, and I said, we're not pulling anything down until we can at least look at it, because we don't know if those are beams that. And it's still too, the water's still too high. It's coming down good, but it'll take a while, so.
Jim Thoden was still around, he'd say, we never should have reopened it back in 2004.
Let's see how. Okay, moving on. Committee reports. Eric?
All right, this past Tuesday, the 9th, We had a Public Safety Commission board meeting that morning. And my one official extra meeting last week.
Had the public safety meeting on the 9th, and then I had a dog shelter meeting on the 10th, Wednesday evening. Shelter's doing well. They've had a lot of dogs lately, cats. One comment is they got Purina canned dog food. Little 5-ounce cans. They got a ton of it given to them from Purina. So if anybody wants free dog food, they have it.
To mix with dry.
To mix with dry food. Don't give your dog straight diet of that. It won't be good for them.
Regret it.
Yeah, you'll live to regret it, yeah. But the surrounding counties all got
Up there.
the same delivery from Purina, so we're struggling to find a home for it. For canned dog food. Nice little, they look like little tuna fish cans, they're about 5 ounces, 5 something.
But you don't wanna feed it. Give them a whole can and mix it with dry or something.
Yeah,
Cause you, dog gets a taste of that. you know.
it's just
Not
like,
eating
it's like
anything.
candy to them. If you give them candy every day, they're not gonna eat their food when it runs out. But it was a gift from Purina. I don't know the circumstances. I think it was a truck that was supposed to go somewhere, maybe up to Spencer, and Spencer was shut down, so they couldn't take it. So Purina just distributed it locally around, and they have lots of it. And I think they're gonna put some down at the food pantry for people to pick up in different locations. Makes great meatloaf. I don't know, just joking. But, yeah, they got lots of it. So if you want some free dog food, talk to the dog shelter.
They also got a fundraiser coming up on the 21st. And I think they was taking some out there.
Yeah. That's all I had.
That'd be out the shelter part.
Okay. I didn't have any meetings. I had food pantry that I didn't get to again, but I got the numbers here. July 10th, there were 220 families, just shy of 10,000 pounds of food. They had 31 volunteers. Humboldt had 127 family, 363 family members. Humboldt Homes had 45 families, 54 family members. Livermore, 27 families with 50 family members, total of 199 and 467. So their numbers are continue to go up. They are trying to streamline the trucks that come from Des Moines, bringing this up. So they are going to change some of our food pantry dates. I invited Diane to come up when they get it in more in concrete that we could adjust those dates. So she said when we get it all straightened out, she will come up and visit with us. So that's what I had.
Okay, Sandy, have you got any?
I do. Okay, on Monday, the 8th, I had an ISU steering committee for caregivers. I'm on a committee working with Dorothy Goodell, who's kind of heading up this, and there's a couple of others. So what we're trying to do is come up with the plan. It's a 6-week course. I think it's an hour and a half each week on how to help people that are caregiving for the elderly. Needless to say, we're becoming a more aging county. So we're just trying to find a way to help the people who are taking care of people within their homes or going to their parents' home or someone else, a family member. And then we're hoping to get a support group set up out of this committee. And then on the 9th, I met with the human trafficking group. We're trying to come up with a mission statement just to get more, to help people become more familiar and aware of the human trafficking and to bring notice to it. And then I got an email finally from, believe it or not, IWD finally got back to us 9 months, maybe even it's been maybe close to a year. But so there was that $11,000 that they were talking about for, that was an offset. And they said that we had the ability to decide if we were going to pay it back or if it was going to come out of the funds for the current year. And so we, as a defunct group, decided to have it come back through the Iowa Plains region now. And so we're done. The 6 counties are completely done now. We are not responsible for that $11,000. And Trish, I'll forward that to you. I don't know if we need to put that on a agenda type thing or not. I don't think so. I think we just probably need to maybe just record it. But I'll leave that up to you whether we need to have it in there. Okay, that's all I had.
Yep. The other one I got too was animal shelter. And like Bruce said, we got dog food. We got lots of dogs out there. They're running everywhere. We got pups. You're looking for a dog, come to the shelter. Other than that, that's all I had. You got anything? Nope.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Anything else come for the board?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All hesitation there.